Guys, a very good afternoon. And this is Anand Kumar again. And welcome to my video lecture series number 3. And in this video lecture series, we'll just start with something called as web browsers and its usage in the HTML documents. So the purpose of a web browser, whether it might be Chrome, Edge, Firefox or Safari, is to read the HTML documents and display them correctly. To be noted, a browser doesn't display the HTML tags, but it uses them to determine how to display the document. For example, just have a look at this figure. This figure is just stated with index.html, that is the extension for HTML. It indicates the name, and within that browser, it is displayed as my first heading, my first paragraph. It does mean that the first line is in the higher stance and the second line is in the lower paragraph stance. So, and we'll start with something called as page structure. HTML page structure is nothing but a visualization that is meant to be followed while programming or just coding. So, coming to the programming language implementation here, as I told you in the previous classes, it is HTML starts with HTML tag and ends with HTML tag, and within that HTML tags is enclosed by the aspect that is what we call it as head and body section. Head is nothing but an space that is used to, what do you call, like, I'm just roaming around the cursor here, that is for displaying the title, and the next is to enclose the body contents, that is it might be heading or it might be paragraph or it might be another paragraph. So coming to the various versions and the history of HTML documents, and the given here is a visualization of HTML page structure starting from right from 1989 to 2017. In 1989, Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web, through which the HTML is being implemented in the year of 1990s. I mean to say that in the starting ages of 1990s, HTML has been implemented, and the evolution comes in every 2 years. HTML is developed to HTML plus, then comes the 2.0, then 3.0 and 3. Series, and next comes the 4.0 in the millennium aspects, or in the millennium year, that is what we call as 2K or 2000. HTML or extended hypertext markup language, that is what we call as XHTML 1.0 has been developed, and from the year 2014 HTML5's implementation has been done. And for your information, this lecture series we are following the implementation of HTML5, and UTF range starts from 2.8 also, and HTML 5.0 is the recent developed one, and there's additions moreover, and HTML 5.1 supports the second edition. So coming to the HTML editors, this is the important point of the HTML document, and learning HTML using Notepad or text edit documents are preferred here. Web pages can be created and modified by using professional HTML editors. That's the implication of, it might be Visual Studio, or it might be Visual Basic, or it might be a simple Notepad, or it might be text editor or anything. In order to include the files, or in order to include some scripts, Visual Studio is prescribed. And however, for learning HTML, we recommend a simple text editor, that might be Notepad or text editor, text edit for MacBook users. So here is the aspect of HTML editor, that is displaying the code. Coming to the major aspect, we can directly open the Notepad. In the first place, we can just start typing the HTML codes. The HTML codes is displayed here for your reference. The HTML code starts with HTML and it ends with /HTML. It does mean that the following program should be following HTML guidelines, and within that HTML there is no head here. Why? Because it is not mandatory to classify the documents as HTML documents as head and body, but here in this term, body is being fine, and next is within that body, headings and paragraph tags are used. Headings are used by the term called h1 representation, and paragraphs are used by the terms called paragraph representation here, that is p/p h1/h1. So how to save the file on your computer? So to save a file on your computer, just go the file option and go to save as in the Notepad menu. Just type the file name .html as the extension, and just if you want to make sure that the encoding is UTF-8, that is preferred as HTML file. Here, the index file, that is the index.html file, is being used. So this is the final output for the coding. That yes, this code is being induced into the text editor, and it's been displayed as the output for this thing. And this is the HTML document basic example. I think we can see the remaining in the next class. And thank you for listening. Thank you.